Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 4-track looping on a 4-track cassette machine. It's going to be part one. So part one, I'm going to be looking at looping, and part two, I'm just going to be looking at recording generally on a 4-track machine. It's what I did a long time ago when I was about the age of 14, 15. I got my first 4-track. I got a Fostex X-14, I think it was. I've got a Fostex X-12 here. I wanted another X-14 because I remember when I was younger, it was just a brilliant machine just for doing like little recordings on. Then I had an X-24, which was really good because you could do like each track you record simultaneously. You can only record one track at a time on here, so you couldn't like record a whole band or something like that. So it's good for like just sketching down ideas when you're on your own and stuff. I found this really useful for sampling and for just making loops and making interesting sounds, and you can actually use it as an instrument itself. I've been doing loops on this, and you can write a structure to it, like a backbone of a song using tape loops, and I'm going to show you just how I do that. So this is a basic 4-track. It's got a switch for 4 tracks, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got pan control, sliders for volume of each track. It's got an input with a trim knob on it, headphones, record, play, rewind, fast forward, all the rest of it, limit meter, master volume, and then at the back it's just got a line out, so you can just put that line out straight into a mixer, straight into your computer, and then it's just got 12 volt DC. I'm just going to show you what I do with tape loops. So with a tape loop, it's basically just getting a cassette that's in a really short loop, and it will keep on recording over itself. So you can have it going whilst you're playing something, and it'll record like a little phrase. So you could record a phrase on each of the 4 tracks, and you can like pan them in. So you could have like a chord of a keyboard chord, and each note could be on one of the tracks. So when you pull them all together, it plays the chord, and you can fade them in and out, you can pan them, and you could have that chord on, playing through different sounds. Because of the quality of cassette, you can just get some really interesting sounds. I'll just show you what I've been using. I've been using one of these Akai mini plays. So basically, this has got all your like sort of general MIDI tones in it that you'd find in a general MIDI keyboard. We've got some drums as well on it. It's quite good quality, really, and you've got resonance and cutoff and reverb and chorus. You've got some effects on there as well, which helps like change those general MIDI sounds, make them like a bit more interesting. There is a speaker out there, and it's got USB and headphones. You can plug these straight into a computer as well if you want to use it as just a controller keyboard. But I've been using this, plugging this straight into the 4-track, and just selecting sounds and looping them. So this is my cassette. Obviously it says tape loop 2015. I did actually make this in 2015. So basically you want to get a cassette like this, like a cassette shell, hopefully one with like tape still in it. You want to make sure that your holes haven't been punched out at the top, because if the holes have been punched out, you can't record. So if they've been punched out, put some sellotape over the top. And what you need to do is just unscrew the cassette, take the tape out, keep in one of these little spool wheels, and you can disregard the other one. And then you want to get a loop of tape and loop it round back through just as normal, but it's just looping around there. And you don't want it too tight as well. You just want it quite kind of loose. You can actually, I've seen people just like spool quite a lot in actually, and so it can actually be quite a long loop. But I think sometimes it tends to get snagged up, and it can tear up the tape inside. But this one's fine at the moment, just the way this is, like that. So I've been recording on this for a long time, so the quality as well is kind of degraded over time, but I like that. Some people might not necessarily like that. When you're sticking your tape together, you can use sellotape, you can use proper audio cassette adhesive like tape. There is such thing if you want to be really like anal about it. I'm not that bothered. I'm really like ghetto about everything, so like it's like I don't care. It's cool for me to have a tape like this that's really degraded. I've recorded on this so many times, and it's just the quality of it's really gone down quite a lot. You can put it in that way, record on it, and then you can flip it, the cassette over, and it will play it in reverse. So whatever you've got, you can then have a reverse play of it. And some 4-track machines actually have a knob, which is a speed knob, so you can slow it down, you can speed it up, so that's really cool as well. But this one doesn't have that feature. It just literally, you got pan controls and faders. I'll show you now like what I've done on this, because I was quite pleased with what I'd recorded onto this little one here. So I'll just go through a quick demo of the sounds that I created on this one. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that little snippet of sounds there that I made on my 4-track that was all looping. In the next video, I'll just do a general recording session of like doing guitar and whatever on their drum machine or something. I'll show you how I'd like build up a sketch of a track on the 4-track. Again, a really useful tool just to take yourself away from the computer a bit with recording and going back to basics, and it can really teach you how to you know, not be reliant on tools that are inside the computer. You just get a really raw sound, and it can really help you with just focusing in on your sound and writing songs in a very basic way, and even getting you know, a more interesting sound than just recording straight into a computer, which I think is a good idea to get away from. I mean, I started off recording on 4-tracks, so this was literally the first thing that I went to when I started my journey in music production. Actually, I even actually overdubbed on cassettes before I had a 4-track, so I'll go through in the next video about what those things sounded like. I'll put some demos out of what my old stuff used to sound like back in the 90s, and you can have a listen to it. Anyway, stay tuned for that video. That's part 2, and thanks for watching, and tune in for the next time.